Things are heating up in the lightweight division, and this time, it's Merab Dvalishvili flipping the script on Islam Makhachev. After staying quiet for a while, Merab is finally clapping back, saying Islam should stop ducking Ilia Topuria and defend his title against the rightful contender. Merab reminded everyone of the time during the UFC 311 pre-fight press conference when Islam threw a little shade his way, saying,
"Don't have nothing for you, just respect, but don't make the belt look bad, you know. When you have some real contender, just fight. This thing what I want to say, that's it."
And now that opportunity has presented itself, Merab is calling out Islam's double standard, saying,
Ilya has to fight Islam Makhachev, especially he vacated his belt, and he's not anymore 145, and he's the best deserving contender for the 155 belt, but somehow Islam ignoring him. I'm sure you guys, everybody remember that Islam told me only one word in press conference: Merab, I respect you, but when you have a top contender, you should fight him. And I said, okay, I'm fighting. And but now he has a tough contender as a Ilia Topuria, but he's not fighting because he's saying some other things. And we all agree that Ilia deserves this fight more, and hopefully this happening.
Ilia Topuria has moved up from featherweight, vacated his belt, and is clearly one of the top contenders at 155. But according to Merab, Islam's ignoring him. And he's not alone. Fans and fighters agree, Ilia deserves that shot more than anyone else. The heat is on. Will Islam step up or keep deflecting? Let us know what you think about this. While some still doubt Paddy's greatness, Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson sees something special. He believes Paddy Pimblett will eventually be a UFC champion, and he even compared him to legends who never quite reached that gold. Mighty Mouse praised Paddy's fight IQ and positional awareness, especially his work against Bobby Green. He sees potential that most fans haven't fully appreciated yet.
I can't wait to see him get to the point where, like, I think one day he will be a champion. Like, I think if he doesn't be champion, it will be like one of the guys who were really good who never became, like a Uriah Faber, right? Like, or Joseph Benavidez. Like, he does everything right as of now in this fight and the time of his career, and when he fought Bobby Green. Like, right away, he started attacking that post arm immediately, and he's probably gonna look to pass guard.
And as we continue, help me hit 1,000 subscribers by smashing that subscribe button. Thanks in advance. Recently, while on the Good Guy Bad Guy show, Daniel Cormier didn't mince words and explained why Chandler is under most pressure at UFC 314. While many believe Alexander Volkanovski is under the most pressure at UFC 314, DC doesn't think so, and strongly thinks it's Michael Chandler who's fighting for his career. Here is what he had to say.
Back to Paddy Pimblett though, and Michael Chandler. I asked you earlier who had the more, if the most pressure was on Volk. It's not, and I said I believe Chandler has more pressure. You want me to tell you why?
Yeah.
Michael Chandler has found himself in a very, very hard to reach bit of company. He's that guy that win or lose, nothing really affects him, right? If he wins, people go, wow, that's amazing, right? Knocked out Dan Hooker, kicked Tony Ferguson in the face. If he loses, man, him and Charles Oliveira, he had him. He was that close, about to become the champion. Charles got him, not so big a deal. Him and Dustin Poirier, he loses. Oh, that was a great fight, but Dustin got the job done. Submitted him. He fought Justin Gaethje. That was a tremendous fight, but Gaethje won the fight. Charles Oliveira, he stood up with him, slammed him backwards. What I'm getting at right now, Chill, is Michael Chandler's fought in the UFC 6 times, he's won twice, right? He loses again. Now you're not losing to Justin Gaethje, Dustin Poirier, Charles Oliveira. You know, you're losing to
the next generation. You can't lose to the next generation.
You cannot lose to the next generation of guy. He's down at number 7 in the ranking. Since he's got here, he's been in the top 5. He's got all the pressure because right now, people look at you with a certain type of glasses. And right now, and we'll talk more about this on Thursday because, boy, we got Dustin Poirier joining us, and he's one of the guys leading the charge. People right now, his contemporaries, are doing the best job that they can imagine to try and discredit him and do things to hurt him. The fans look at him with rose-colored glasses right now. But if you go 2-5 and you start losing the next generation, they start to look at you for who you are. And if they look at him for who he is, And again, Michael Chandler is one of our friends. He's hosted the show with me a number of times. Look at it for who he is. If he loses this weekend, you're looking at a guy that's 2-5 since he got into the UFC, and that's not good, Chael.
Sure. No, it's true. It's true. There is a lot on it, and I just don't know where we would go, who he would call out from here.
Bisping believes Volk's age could be a big factor. Michael Bisping chimed in with a more cautious take. At 36 years old, he believes Volk's age could play a role, especially against a fast and explosive fighter like Diego Lopez. But Bisping doesn't think Volk's chin is gone, just that the timing and momentum may be catching up with him.
Yeah, so I hate bringing it up. It's the age of Volkanovski, right? Simple as that. You can't deny it. You can't avoid it. You can't look past it. It's just very, very relevant. We all know about the curse or the stats. Once they hit 35, no one's won a title fight, I believe. I think that's the stat. This flies doing my head in. And of course, he's lost 3 out of his last 4. Forget about the 2 to Islam Makhachev. That's going up to 155. They were a long time ago now as well. And then he fights Topuria. He was doing really well in that fight, but he was clipped. Regardless, he's had a year away. I don't think that this is a situation with Volkanovski to where the chin's gone. You know what I'm saying? You know, like some fighters, by the end of their careers, couldn't take a punch. Chuck Liddell, perfect example. You know?
Yep.
I don't think it's that far from it. It was Islam and Topuria back to back. No shame. Had a year away, coming back, fighting for the belt. Diego Lopez, fast, quick, very skillful. And think about this, if you're Volkanovski, if you think you're getting ready for Topuria again, you know you've got to elevate everything. Yeah. And if Volk's trying to elevate, who already trains with some of the best grapplers in the world, Craig Jones and stuff like that, trains with really, really good strikers, beat Max Holloway 3 times. All right, 2 of them are really, really close, but still, regardless, he beat Max Holloway 3 times, went on that crazy tear. The only thing that concerns me as a fan, and I want to say not friend, but you know, I'd say I'm pretty pally with Volk. You know, we have each other's phone numbers. Yeah, I'd like to say a friend, and Diego's awesome as well. The speed of Diego Lopez, I think that is gonna potentially be a factor. I'm not saying it will be. I'm just saying that's something that concerns me. The way he came out and dropped Brian Ortega when they fought, nearly had him finished in the first round. You know, so it's gonna be explosive.
Henry Cejudo and Kamaru Usman are not seeing eye to eye on this one. Cejudo is calling for the upset. He thinks Paddy can surprise a lot of people while Usman doesn't think so and believes Michael Chandler wins by stoppage.
Yeah, you know what, Kamaru Dean, dude, I'm smelling an upset, bro. I think with Paddy Pimblett, dude, I think he's gonna bring in the grappling. I think he might pull guard on this dude. And I don't think his hands are not bad either, bro. I think he could also force Michael Chandler to do something on the bottom.
You said pull guard?
He might. If he cannot take Michael Chandler down, he's more likely going to have to do that. But I just feel like Paddy Pimblett, he's a lot better than what I thought. And what he was able to do to Bobby Green, his transitional stuff, obviously him being on I want to say it's 9 fight, 3, 6, 8 fight win streak. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude, we gotta put some respect on that dude's name. And he's only gotten better, bro. Like, I just feel like with Michael Chandler, I think the UFC know what they're doing, and they're doing a 5-rounder.
I'm gonna have to go with Michael Chandler here because I think this is also a crossroads for him. I know he waited for that Conor fight for a long time and didn't materialize, but this is a crossroad because if you don't get through Paddy Pimblett here, now you have to really sit down and look at the career. Do I want to continue to do this? Because now I'm dropping fights to the younger guys that aren't as experienced as I am. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Michael Chandler here because I think he's gonna be close.
Via what? Via knockout? Via what? What's up, Kush? Be specific.
I can see a knockout.
Let us know who you think will win this fight, Michael Chandler or Paddy Pimblett. Alexander Volkanovski isn't giving up on a rematch with Ilia Topuria. Even though he's fighting Diego Lopez for the vacant featherweight belt this weekend, he still sees Ilia in his future.
I knew that it was either Ilia or him. You know, I knew there was other guys that, you know, might want a title shot, but I knew from how active he was and the position he put himself in from being that guy to fight anyone, anywhere, I knew that if there was going to be an interim, it would have been Lopez. So yeah, very, very excited because I think I've got the next best option. So it would have been Ilya, would have been my first option for the rematch. But the fact that I'm fighting for the vacant belt against a young, hungry guy in Lopez, that's the next best thing. Luckily, it dragged on where I'm like, just give me a fight. But I mean, I don't think that story's done yet. I plan on going out there, winning the belt, defending, and then we can maybe have a rematch. If he was to win the title in lightweight or whatever, even bigger, right? But if not, imagine me doing the rematch with him while I'm a defending champ again. It just adds to the story. That's perfect world right there, but we'll see. We'll see where everything goes. Yeah, I mean, it is. So I'm trying to tap into that as much as I can. But I mean, it's not like everyone's thinking. Everyone knows that, knows the situation. And I think a lot of people are expecting me to go out there and do my thing.
Do you think we shall ever have this rematch? Bryce Mitchell goes off on Gene Silva. Bryce Mitchell has never been one to hold back, but this time he's turning up the intensity to a whole new level. Speaking on his upcoming fight with Gene Silva, Bryce didn't sugarcoat how he feels. He says that he loves Jesus, but he calls himself Lord and he doesn't act like he loves Jesus. He doesn't treat me with respect, so I go based off of that, based off my interactions with him. He does not have Jesus in his heart because he treats me like total I'm not afraid to say that to his face. If you love Jesus, then treat people with respect, and that's not what he does. I think his feelings are very ill, and it's not going to be fun when he's getting his face smashed. He says he plans to smash Silva's face this weekend and doesn't care who's offended. Anyways, let us know how this fight goes. And that wraps up today's news. Thanks for watching, guys. And if you enjoyed the updates, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe for daily MMA news. See you in the next one.